So Dean, let's talk about what this is. So this is a real-time model that can take a video that you give it and automatically transpose it to a different style, but you don't have to give it a video, wait for it to process. It's happening as you're using it, which I presume was technically very easy.
AI video models to date have always taken a lot of time to generate their outputs. You know, you give it a prompt and then you wait a bunch of time and 10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, for some model even a minute, and you get something back. Mirage has a 40 millisecond delay, like 0.04 seconds. Okay, so the version that you're seeing right now that you can actually play with is it takes any input video stream, any prompt, and just changes it based on the prompt. What we're gonna launch pretty soon is also just, you know, generic video generation that's 40 milliseconds in. So you just tell it something and boom, it creates it.
So in the case of the real-time usage, what you just showed me with it making you into different forms, 40 milliseconds, is that a lot or a little? Because I know that if I'm playing a first-person shooter in a competitive environment, that's probably a lot, but for pretty much everything else, that seems quick enough, I think.
Exactly. We're also going to be dropping it pretty soon. It should reach like 16 milliseconds a month from now.
Okay, and going back to the first topic of GPU optimization, I'm just presuming that this does not melt entire data centers.
Mirage is the only real-time video model in existence today. Even the big tech still don't have it, except for Google. Google does have this, but even the other big tech, as far as we know, don't have this. And it's challenging to build because you have to build a completely different model on the algorithmic side. You're training actually a different model. It's lots of algorithmic mathematical challenges. And at the same time, you have to write a bunch of assembly code for GPUs. Like all this was written like in PTX, was assembly for GPUs to actually get it to execute like this efficiently.
Okay, so you have to do the hard work of making the AI model, and then you have to go essentially reprogram the GPUs to actually be efficient. So technically very impressive, and visually, because I love this sort of thing, stunning to me. But I'm curious where you see it finding commercial application. You do have an example up on the site of someone looking down their sniper rifle sight inside of a game, and I think there's an effect inside of there, which again, visually stunning, but is that where you see this kind of slotting into the economy today?
I think it can completely take over like half the internet, and I'll explain. What was the previous internet pre-ChatGPT? It was basically four things. You had knowledge, which was basically everything under Google's domain. Second category that you had was creativity. What do you do when you're not doing your homework? Okay, and that's, you know, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Then you had communication, WhatsApp, iMessage, and you had shopping. Okay. Chatbots have completely taken over the first portion of the internet. It's gone.
The knowledge portion.
The knowledge portion, exactly. I don't know who will win, if it'll be OpenAI or Gemini or XAI, whoever, but chatbots are the way humanity is going to access knowledge and going to create knowledge going forward. That's it. Well, then it is done. Shopping, I think, will be split in two. You're not going to browse Amazon.com or Shopify. Your chatbot's going to tell you, hey, look, here's something cool, or, you know, try this on or whatever. Messaging, completely different topic. I can get into it, but I do think chatbots will take over that as well. And we're left over with creativity,
which is a quarter of the prior internet, going by one of four categories.
It is the largest. And the nice thing is that as we get more productive and we spend less time doing our work, it's the only category that's growing, that fundamentally has to grow. If we now have to do 4 days a week of work or 3 days a week of work as, you know, bots start, you know, making us more productive, we're going to have more and more and more creativity time. What's going to completely change your experience when you're having fun? That is, I think, the biggest open question today in the consumer internet. Someone is going to answer that question in the next year, and whoever answers that question is going to be a $1 trillion company.
So to me, what you're describing sounds like a new world that we inhabit that is persistently drawn by, I mean, perhaps something along the lines of your Oasis model.
Exactly, and that's you know, that's where we get to what a world model is. It has an incredible ability to just look at a bunch of videos and get how the world behind them works, and then just let you come up with completely new worlds. For the first time, we can take what's in our mind and just instantly show it to ourselves and to others, and really have a completely immersive experience.